Hi, everybody. This is Tom with Culture Chat. So, today I want to talk to you about recommendations. So, I had a sad phone call from a former intern of mine who said she was having trouble getting anyone to call back to speak on her behalf, which just made me sad. And I said, "Well, who are you calling?" And the people she mentioned, the two theaters have gone out of business. So, the one person said, our place is out of business, so why should I? I have nothing to say. What? You took on that role of leadership, and I know that it's done, and that's very sad, but you still had people below you who worked for you who need those recommendations to get work of their own. And do you realize that by not doing this, you're probably cutting your nose off your face? Because you're going to run into those people later on when they needed your help and you didn't help them. So, case in point, I didn't start directing right out of college. It took me a few years of doing other things, and then I realized that was my calling. So, the very first place to hire me as a director was someone that I knew from high school, from the rival high school. She and another person who I had seen, who was 10 years younger than me, at also a high school in the same area as my high school. They were running this theater and they hired me. Fantastic. So it was miles away from where I lived, miles and miles, like hours away. And they're the first ones that said yes, which is fantastic. So I know that I got that job because they knew who I was. They knew that the people recommending me from several different areas were for real. They were impressed that everyone they called back with a recommendation like, "Oh yes, he's good to direct his own show. This is his first show. Don't worry, he'll be good. He's ready." Fantastic. Where would I have been had that not happened? We weren't living in the same area. We hadn't been for years. Had people not called on my behalf, I don't think I would have gotten that job. Okay, that had led me to all my other jobs. Now I'm directing in multiple countries. So I won't say I'm starting again when I'm in a new country, but I need the recommendations from my past experiences to get me those new jobs. So people just don't look at pictures from my show or this YouTube channel and say, "Oh yeah, I'll hire him." It doesn't work that way. You need people to back you up. So you need to be a professional. You need to collect their information. And this isn't just, "Oh, they're the artistic director of the theater. They know me. And when I need them, I'll call them." And then that theater has collapsed and you don't have any way of getting hold of them. "Oh, I'll just contact them on Facebook." Really? You know how many people are not staying on Facebook? And you know the ones that are staying on Facebook, they're still there. How often do they pick up their Facebook messages? Or how often do they look? So you're kind of stuck. Get their emails, get their contact information, and say, "Please, I'm at this point of my career. When I ask for a recommendation, please do so." And if you've done a good job, they'll say yes, but say, "No, really, I'm at a point in my career, or I'm shifting to do this other part of my career, and I'm going to need you to speak up for me when the time comes." So we often forget that recommendations are needed. Okay? It's something that it really isn't discussed. People say, "Oh, go out and network." It's the same thing I just described. Are people going to hire me just because they see me talking on this channel? No. Are they going to hire me because they see pretty pictures on my website? No. They need more information. Okay? So you keep all your contacts, call them once a year, send a Christmas card, you know, drop a line once in a while. "Hey, how are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you now? Oh, have you left the country? Oh, that's interesting." You don't have to have a full conversation with them. You know, that's the thing about Christmas cards or Christmas e-cards. You don't have to say much. "Here's what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Here's 3 lines to saying what I'm doing. Oh, that's interesting. And they might say something back. Here's 3 lines to say what I'm doing. Or I'm not using this email anymore. Here's my new one. That's important. Or you've kept in contact with the rest of your contacts. You're like, hey, where's Bob? I can't find Bob. His email isn't working. The theater he worked at is closed. He's left the country. I need a recommendation. He's the best person for this. How do I get a hold of him? Oh, yeah, I know where Bob is. And they have the information. I understand. So be the person that calls back with a recommendation and be the people who ask for them and set them forward when you're at a new place, a new job, a new anything, because we are entertainers. So there's lots of different theaters we work in, lots of different industries we work in, film, theater, opera, ballet, whatever. You never know where you're going to be. And you might think like, I'm just an actor. I'm always going to be in theater. Really? What about your friend who's a lighting designer? They're going to be doing all of it. Opera, ballet, theater. They're the ones that need the recommendation. Oh, your intern who helped you with your costume changes when she was 16. Oh, she's a singer? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. It's been 10 years. Yes, she was very responsible. Well, I can tell you, I can't tell you about her singing talent, but I can tell you this. Professional. Always a professional. This is important. You never know how much you can help people and how much they'll help you when the time is right for what you need. And you'll always be running into people in the industry wherever you go. You may think, I'll always live in this state. I'll always live in this country. I'll always live in this region. You never know what's going to happen. You may marry someone who said, let's move across the country. Let's move out of the country. What? And even when you're out of the country, you'll be shocked to realize that you are in the same circles and you will see people you used to perform with in high school in that new country. It just happens. So you need your people. You need your group. You need recommendations. All right. That's my pitch for today. Something we hardly ever think about, but is important. Okay. Please subscribe. We'll talk again. Thanks.